This truck is absolutely everything that we in America say we want out of our half-ton trucks. Yet nobody bought them and nobody cares at all. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're checking out this 2024 Nissan Titan that we have over here at the Ram store again. If you guys follow the channel, you know I've made two other videos about this truck. The first one just kind of talking about it, and the second one listing off the main reasons that it did get discontinued. But in the comments of those videos, there were so many people telling me that I'm incorrect, I'm wrong, the Titan's the best truck they've ever owned, etc, etc. So I wanted to take a second and talk about some of the reasons that this truck should not have been discontinued, because you guys made a lot of really good points. Let me preface this by saying if you guys did watch the other video, you know I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of the truck at the price point that they sell at, but I certainly don't have anything against it overall. It's a great truck, I think. I've never owned one, but that's what everybody tells me. So diving into this video is just going to be some of the things that Nissan did really, really well, that I think they were really close to honestly having a truck that was competitive sales-wise with the big dogs. They just didn't quite get over that next hump. First thing being that this truck is assembled right here in the USA, which is something that we all talk about how important it is to us. And we know that's not necessarily the case for some of our other friends over here, okay? Now, you don't have to give me a lecture on assembled versus built and blah, 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 what exactly that means. I got it, I know, okay? It's a foreign company, whatever, but, well, anyways, we'll save that conversation for another day. But, like I say, all of us always talk about American-made. This is as American-made as a lot of the American vehicles. The next thing is this has a 5.6-liter V8 with 400 horsepower. Now, whether you think it's a good motor or not, this is the only V8 in a production truck that has no cylinder deactivation, none of the nonsense. This is just a raw, good old American 400 horsepower V8. And that is what we all say that we want. I haven't spent a lot of time behind the wheel of one of these trucks, so here in just a minute I'm going to drive it and take you guys with me, let you know what I think of that motor. Like I say, overwhelmingly, the responses in the video were that it's been rock solid reliable, best truck they've ever owned, they wouldn't own anything else, etc, etc. What is amazing, even if you don't think it's the most reliable engine, it's okay, because the next reason is it has a 5-year, 100,000 mile bumper to bumper warranty. Yes, not powertrain, bumper to bumper. So let's think about it. So far, we have a raw V8, none of the cylinder deactivation stuff that we all say we hate. It's assembled in America. It has a crazy warranty, 400 horsepower. It'll tow 9,000 pounds. This particular one, especially being the Pro 4X, is extremely capable off-road from what I've heard. So what is holding this truck back? Well, like I say, you guys check out the other video. But I really don't know. Overall, features for features and what we all say that we want, this truck has it all. Speaking of features, look at this surround view camera system. Now, if you watch the other video, you know that I do have some disappointments with this particular surround view system. Just the clarity of it, I don't really think is up to par. Some of the switches aren't, you know, as up to date as some other brands, but I really don't know. I mean, like I say, what really killed this truck, I think, is the price for what you get compared to the others. But you do still save a significant amount of money, or what most people would consider to be a significant amount of money, to go with this versus something else. Two other big things I want to talk about are A, I wonder if part of the reason that they discontinued it is the whole V8 thing, right? You guys, some of you guys know I work at a Ram store. Obviously, we went from the Hemi to the Hurricane this year. That's not a secret, and we all know why. Probably similar reasons to Ram with the whole EPA thing, but Nissan makes a lot of small cars, hybrid cars, electric cars, things like that. So I would think that they would have, you know, the credits and blah, 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 to be able to still push out some of these V8s. The other thing is reputation, right? Nissan doesn't necessarily have the best reputation, but they don't necessarily have a horrible one overall. There's certainly brands with a worse reputation than Nissan. So I just wonder, you know, I don't see nearly as much just blind brand loyalty as we used to see, right? your grandpa's my grandpa. Oh, buddy, once he had a brand picked out, he would never, ever, ever change. Nowadays, I don't see that as much because it's a lot different than it was back in the day. A lot of the vehicles kind of blend together. They all have a lot of the same stuff. There's not a lot of major differences. It's really just a matter of which one do you personally like more, and I do think that's an area that Nissan lacks, is in that brand loyal, or you really like the way it looks, or something like that. Getting on the freeway here, there's kind of a slower guy in front of me, but like I say, power seems reasonable enough. I threw it in tow mode because I want to see how the engine brake feels, things like that. Obviously, we're not going downhill or towing anything, so it may not be overly aggressive compared to regular driving, but at a first glance, it feels fine. Driving it, it feels good, guys. It feels fine, feels good. But the thing is, like we talked about in that other video, the thing that keeps brands making new vehicles is new sales. If you're lacking in new sales, eventually that's what's going to do you in, right? So you wonder why these weren't selling, because they do check a lot of boxes, and I know I made the video of why not, but they check a lot of boxes, and all the comments I got are people seem to be super happy with them, so you just wonder why historically, even with all the boxes checked and everything, these trucks just don't sell that well. Another big reason that they shouldn't have called it off so quick is a lot of people, I feel like, you're either okay with the foreign brand idea or you're not, right? And most of those people went to Toyota, okay? Well, we all know about Toyota's big recall scandal and all that stuff going on, which I could make another video about why that's kind of blown out of proportion, but overall, I think a lot of those people that maybe would have got a Tundra because they don't like, Chevy, Ford, GMC, Ram, whatever, they just insist on not buying an American vehicle, probably would have looked to Nissan with a lot of that stuff going on. And now I know there's still Titans out there that you can buy brand new, but overall, guys, I really think they kind of jumped the gun. So like I say, guys, with Ram going away from the Hemi and Toyota's having the recall issue, I think Nissan really should have kept this truck around, and they could really be leaning on that whole thing right now. We have the V8, we have no AFM, active fuel management, cylinder deactivation, whatever you want to call some of that stuff. We have none of it. Just a rock solid V8 assembled in America, 400 horsepower, tow 9,000 pounds, ready to go. But instead, they killed it, and maybe that's why they're not as big of a brand. Maybe they just keep making some bad decisions like that, but I don't know. I think it is kind of a shame. I think this might have been their moment, and I just didn't know it. But that's gonna pretty much do it, guys. Drop a like, leave a comment, let me know why I'm right, wrong, crazy, indifferent. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.